Exactly 33 minutes after 7. Welcome to my banner. Today we're talking all football, and it's local football we're talking about. We're also monitoring that GFA elections underway in Tamale. I mean, it would be our colleague Ridwan Ibrahim Asante is on the grounds. We'll speak to him on the show. But let's start with the local league, and I want us to focus on the table for a while. My guest is Coach Ebenezer Sefa. He's a coach and scouts, and he makes great analysis. He will take us through this process. Good morning, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So I said that we'll focus on the table first of all. So let's focus on the table. I'm passionate about Accra Hearts of Oak. Unfortunately, they are down there. I mean, really, really low on the table. What does it mean with 36 points and with 2 more games to go?
This is a crucial moment for Accra Hearts of Oak, and for me, I think that 36 points needs to do more. They need to beat Wafa and Brekum Chelsea to get to 42. And then Wafa is playing Ice Gold at Obuasi, and they'll be playing Accra Hearts of Oak at Soga Kope. Wafa is having 40 points, and if they should lose all the 2 games, they will be in trouble. So it's a difficult game for Accra Hearts of Oak. And I think apart from Ice Gold, Adriana Kotoko, Brekum Chelsea, and Interlights, all the clubs are not safe.
And these people that you think are safe, it's because Ash Gold is on top. They've got 49 points, but the rest, there's 45, 42, 41. You think those with 40 and below are all not safe?
They are all not safe because Haas is having 36. If Haas should win 2 games, it's 42. Those have 37. If they should win 1 game and draw 1, it's 41. So if you are at 40, you still stay at 40. Apart from BA United, who is already relegated, it's left with 2 clubs to join them. And I think that from Wafa down, Liberty Professionals, Azaka, Edibiase, you have Mediama, Wild All Stars, Olympics, Heart of Lions, Bechem United, and Accra Hearts of Oak. Any of these clubs 2 of these clubs can join BA United if they don't win their matches. You are
a scout. There's something about our league is not in my personal view. It's not. It doesn't sound like it's competitive enough, or it doesn't look like it's. What is accounting for it? Is it that we don't have great players, or?
I disagree because I've moved around, and I've seen teams that have got quality. I was at Pando last Sunday to watch Heart of Lions Adriana. Adriana playing away from home played so well that Heart of Lions had to defend in the second half throughout. And for me, watch Wafa against Kotoko at Soga Kope, and no one will tell you that it was at a high standard game that they played. Yes, as much as we don't have good pitches, before then, players would love to play Kotoko or Accra Hearts of Oak because of the national teams. But today, it has been spread out. You go to Wild All Stars, they've got young players who are doing very well. As we speak, Adriana has not lost a game at home. Ice Gold has not lost a game at home. And Brekum Chelsea has not lost a game at home. People think because the fans are not trooping to the stadium, that is why they are saying the league is not competitive.
Because we're not patronizing it.
No, fine. It happens. I was in Sweden last 2 weeks. There are a couple of matches that I watched that people doesn't go to the stadium. You watch the South African League. If it's not Orlando Pirates playing Kaizer Chiefs, because they have sponsors, sometimes you see empty stadium. For me, go out there. It's not about staying in Accra and watch Accra Hearts of Oak playing Bechem and you think that the standard is low. What about Adriana playing Edubiase? People that watch Edubiase Accra Hearts of Oak at Obuasi realize it was a high competitive game. Kotoko against Ice Gold was shown on Super Sport. It was a high competitive game. So if anybody tells me that our league is not competitive, I disagree.
Why is it not translating into us running? Even if we will not go and watch the game live, at least we'll see it on TV. Why are we not showing that kind of interest?
The point that I'm trying to make is that how many people have the Super Sports? GTV is not showing it. TV3 is not showing it. Joy TV is not showing it. It's Super Sports. How many of us, how many Ghanaians have?
So access to it is the problem?
To me, yes. If the GTV can go the Interlands, GTV is clear for everybody to watch. But GTV is not showing it. That is also one thing. I think it's about TV coverage. It's also one thing. And most of these clubs also doesn't want their matches to be shown live, and I don't know why. Before we came on air, I was telling you something that, look, I think that the last 2 matches, the FA and PLB, in collaboration with Super Sports, should know the kind of matches that they have to show live. The matches that they showed against, Kotoko, BA United, for me, they should have even shown that match. BA is already relegated. Kotoko is fighting to get into the top 4. But there are clubs who are fighting to go to relegation. You talk of Adriana, Heart of Lions at Pando, Olympics Wafa here, Became United, Wild Stars.
So if you say the games are so competitive, why don't we, at least, I mean, if it's in Accra, for instance, why wouldn't we go to the stadium and go and see the game?
And I'm saying that it's all over. I don't know what is happening, but it's all over. I go to the stadium and I cherish going to the stadium, and I'm not the person alone. I believe that there are a couple of things that people do. Football has changed. Football has changed. It depends on how we market our football. We don't. We don't. It's about how we market our football. We don't do that. We don't do that. I watched Liberty against Wafa, and it was a great match to watch. Watch Liberty playing a good football, Wafa playing good football, and you stay at home and tell me that, look, our football is not competitive. No, it depends on how the person thinks.
We want it translated to people trooping to go and see
about marketing.
I mean,
and I think that we are not marketing our games. We are not marketing our games. And I think that the FA alone cannot market matches for the clubs. They have individual clubs. Like Bechem United can market their game playing at home against probably Wild Stars. You don't expect Wild Stars to stay at Wa to market that game for you. You playing at home have to market your game. Kotoko playing Ash Good, Kotoko market that game, and the fans were at the stadium. Accra Suffolk playing Kumasi Asante Kotoko at the Accra Sports Stadium. They marketed their game, the fans were there.
So why can't Hearts or Kotoko, for instance, market their home games against quote-unquote smaller clubs? That's how we will term them, but even though some of them are doing great.
Yeah, it depends on how they project their things. For me, I don't think that the smaller clubs are even doing better as Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Accra Suffolk.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't.
Why is Hearts? Why is Hearts?
I'm not talking about performance.
Okay, you're talking in terms of marketing.
That is it. I'm not talking about performance. For instance, the smaller clubs think that, look, if I should play Kumasi Asante Kotoko, that is why I'm going to get money to pay my players and my staff. If I don't play Kotoko, and for instance, if Mediama is playing Hazakes at Takwa TNA, he thinks that marketing, putting in money to market the game, I'm not going to regain whatever I put in. But if Kotoko is coming to Takwa and I put in more, I'll reap more. And I think that is the perception that they need to get off their heads and then make sure that just market the game. People will come there to come to watch. Because if I come to watch Mediama Hazakes and I realize I've seen 2-3 players who are doing very well and the game is so interesting, when I go back, I'll tell people to go and watch Mediama game because I think that they have good players, they have good materials, that they have good technical team. But we don't do that, and I think that is one of the problems that we are suffering.
Help me with my team, Accra Hearts. What's the problem with the team?
Well, I think that in terms of quality, Accra Suffolk doesn't have
players,
of course, and changing of technical team is also one problem for Accra Suffolk. You have a coach like Herbert Addo, taking off Herbert Addo and bringing in Eddie Ansan. Yes, he's having the license as SCAF license A coach. Has he coached with that license before?
But did Herbert perform?
At the end of the day, he was with Inter Allies in the second round of last season. You saw what he did. That's why you went for him. When he came, I remember when Hearts were in Tunisia to play Esperance. He said that Hearts are there to learn what we call professionalism. And people took him on. For me, the quality, you see, there are a lot of quality players who did the recruitment for Accra Suffolk. Nobody can tell me that the players in Accra Suffolk, majority of them deserve to play Hearts today. The quality of players to play.
So what are you saying?
I'm telling
a lot
you,
of the players
majority
play
of
for Hearts.
It's a fact. A player who cannot possess ball for 1 minute, who cannot pass well, control well, playing.
So
the oldest club in the country, Accra Suffolk.
Give us some names here. I mean, who?
No, I will not be fair by mentioning names today. I will not be fair. But
so about what percentage of players in Hearts Suffolk?
I'll say about 60%. I'll say about 60%. You watch the defense of Accra Suffolk, just pick out Ruby Nyani out of a player who commands, he has got the character and ability to push the team on. You go to the Milford, there's this young chap called Saban Lai. He's an up-and-coming young player. He needs someone to cushion him. How long has he been with Accra Suffolk? Accra Suffolk big players with character, with big heart to play Accra Suffolk. Look at the striking force of Accra Suffolk. Let's talk about Gilbert Fiamagnon. The league started, he scored 5 goals out of 3 matches. And where is Gilbert Firmino now? They are now relying on Fovi Agudi, the Togolese international. He plays today, he scored today, 3-4 matches, he just blew all the chances away.
So you think the problem is with the quality of the players and not management?
For me, I don't see, you see, it's a round thing. Who recruited those players? Who recruited those players? They have to do with what they have. And for me, to sack Coach Herbert Ado, tell him to go and then bring on Eddie Ansa. I thought they were even going to bring someone, or even going to say, look, Herbert Ado, we want you to stay back. We are bringing in a coach, just stay and act as a technical director and help the person for us to finish the league. So you do a proper scouting for next season. It didn't happen. Now the old guards of Accra folk, Nia Ibonte, Frank Nelson, and we talk about Titi Brothers, we talk of Harry Zako, all came on board. I was in Cape Coast, I watched them against the Heart of Flowers. It was a fantastic game. They thought the team has come back, the spirit has come back, but what is happening today?
I see you put a lot of blame, on the quality of players, but don't also forget that we're quick to sell our players. Otherwise, players themselves are quick to leave. I mean, once they do well, 1 season, 2 seasons, they want to leave.
If you have a good contract with a player here, and a team comes from outside to want to sign the player, it depends on the negotiations that you go. For instance, this player, I'm talking about this Accra folk young chap, Winfred Kobina. Last season he was a fantastic player, a player I thought he would be the darling player of Accra folk today. That player was sold to a Saudi Arabian club. If the club came and he said, look, we are selling this player for $1 million. If you don't have it, leave it. And
so overprice the player?
Of course, you don't sell Ghanaian player $100,000, $150,000. The player will go, you earn $5,000 because you are not paying the player much here. No club is paying a player here $1,000 a month.
We're not?
No, $1,000 in our currency is about 3,000 Ghana
cedis. But $1,000 is like 4,000 Ghana cedis.
Fine, but no club is even paying 2,000 Ghana cedis here.
Really?
I'm telling you. Yes. Some clubs are paying 500 Ghana cedis a month. Today.
For the footballers?
For the footballers.
I mean, because
and they sit here and their friends, their brothers go out there to Saudi Arabia, go to China, go to Korea, whatever, and they come back with money. At the end of the week, Baba Rahman is taking £75,000 a week at Chelsea. Asamoah is taking $350,000 a week. You sit here, you can't pay your player like even $1,000. So what do you expect the players to do? So you pick the player from a coast club or a Division 1 or Division 2 club, a year or two, the agent or the father or the brother of the player, the agents will not come to the club. They go to the mother of the player. I've got a deal for your son, but the club doesn't want him to go. We are going to give him $5,000. Into Ghana cedis, how much is it going to be? At the end of the day, the mother of the player will be at your head, he will be at your house, to even come and sleep at your door. If you don't allow my son to go, we are suffering. He's the breadwinner of the family. What do you do?
So what happens is it that we don't have a contract that would not allow any interference?
I remember when I was in Kotoko, Maxwell Kunodu was then the head coach. And he told Dr. Keke Sapon, the then executive board chairman of the club, that look, we sign these young players. I will not give a player a 2 years contract. It's 3 or 4 years contract with the club. There should be measures. Because a player comes to the club, you sign the player for 2 years, he plays for 1 season, he doesn't do well. The second season that you think that he's done so well that you are going to gain something out of the player, he said, I'm leaving because my contract is running out. Last season we were here, about 5 or 6 players left Kotoko free. With Kotoko getting nothing because of the way they had their contract with them. You have a good contract with them, pay them well, put them in the good houses, their bonuses.
So pay well will mean how much?
I mean, for instance, if you are paying a Ghanaian player at least 2,000 Ghana cedis, old currency 20 million.
How do we do our payment? Is it per week you're talking about?
No, a month. Just give him 2,000 Ghana cedis a month. I'm just using as an example, 2,000 Ghana cedis. In the old currency, 20 million. It's 4 weeks in a month. In that 4 weeks in a month, tell him to win a game. You give him a winning bonus of, say, 500 Ghana cedis. At the end of the month, if he wins all the 4 games, how much is it?
That's another 2,000 back
so,
there.
To his salary, it's not 4,000 Ghana cedis. Will the player not stay? He can pay his rent. The club is paying for his accommodation. if he has a child, the club can take care of maybe the school fees of the child or something.
Is that a practice?
No, I'm just saying something. I'm just putting in that. Put some measures down for the players to be happy and stay
Make
and
the
play.
player comfortable.
Of course.
So as it is now, we pay them very poorly. Are we housing them?
Yes, yeah.
So housing them would mean feeding them as well.
No, let me use Kotoko because I've been to Kotoko before. KK Sapon in Kotoko were paying the players through the bank, and at the end of the day, he give them breakfast at training, and then in the afternoon after training, food is being given to the players.
Okay.
So as a mature player or someone who has got a lot of thoughts in mind, we say, look, let me keep my salary and fight and win matches and get winning bonuses.
Okay, just hold your thoughts right there. We'll continue. Let's cross over to Tamale. We understand that registration for the Congress is ongoing and it's scheduled to start at exactly 9 a.m. My colleague Redwan Ibrahim Asante joins me via phone. Redwan, good morning.
Good morning, Mama V.
So, you know, we've had some court issues with this particular Congress, but finally, it's happening today. Tell us the mood.
Oh, well, I think it's one of happiness to congregate that and from the people in circles after the back and forth and pitches being killed. I think it's simply to say that they are delighted to finally get this thing cleared, in their party. Then look at the next stage of the election, which will be, the election for the regional association chairman or president.
But Redwan, Kwesi Nyantechi is going unopposed.
Yeah, this is the second time. Maybe we have a lot of quote unquote cowards in the system. Excuse my word, but we needed somebody to take the mantle. The GFA election is not open to everybody. It's just for a group of people, and when those involved in the sport in the country and are unable, to contest or to mount a challenge against the incumbent, then the summaries are just simple, right? Maybe he's doing his work well, he's loved by his people, or from the outside, we would like to look, at those involved as being simply submissive to the leader and wouldn't like to rock the boat. So those are the two conclusions, that will happen.
So
that will dominate if nobody contests them.
So members are just going to endorse him.
Yes, the proclamation that's what they're going to have back to
Hello, Redwan. You'd have to reposition yourself. Line keeps breaking. Hello?
Oh, look, this time.
Yeah, this is fine. This is better, yes.
Hello?
Yes, this is better. Hello?
Hello, Mama?
Yes, I can hear you. This is fine.
It's better now.
It is better. I was just saying, so,
Okay.
He's just going to be endorsed again.
Yeah, that's a popular acclamation. I mean, that's what they're going to do. The next acclamation is to be, returned as schools. It's just, clear as the rules or the statutes of the Football Association state, when nobody contests, then the only person or candidate to have filed his nomination and passed through the vetting and vetted war and verified by the electoral body, he should be returned unopposed, and this according to Article 28.7 of the GFA statute. So, Kwesi has got, easy chopper stroll in the park for the second, time running. Remember in June 2011, we had a similar thing in Pram Pram where he was also, returned unopposed as president of the Ghana Football Association. So there's back-to-back wins for Kwesi Nyantechi.
So they could have just sat here in Accra and just done that instead of travel all the way to Tamale.
Yeah, I think people have argued that why move it to Tamale or move it away from the capital. We understand that at the last Congress, those who do football, it's none of our business. To some extent, it's none of our business. But those involved in running football, they agreed at their Congress that, they should try rotating, the Congress. And that's how come Tamale was picked, and this will be the first time. So it's just something of an historic congress.
Redwan, just before you go, run us through what's going to happen. The Congress is scheduled to start at exactly 9 a.m.
We've not been finished, but, just outside the conference, hall of the Guest Fund Hotel, on the UDS campus. We've seen delegates try register, go through the normal procedure. That's for the first start. We've not been finished by, the list of things to be done. But it's just simple. It's just the election of a president. And in our case, just to simplify it, the re-election of Kwesi Nyantakyi. So it looks very, very simple. Maybe there'll be one or two speeches, and then his acceptance speech will be sworn into office for a third time, running. And so that's just simply about it. Unless something crops up any other market, will be discussed. But from what we gather, it looks very straightforward.
You remember the young lady who wanted to, stand for GFA president, wanted to take Kwesi Nyantakyi out badly? What happened to her?
She couldn't return her nomination form. The GFA rules very, very simple. You need, to be nominated by, a club, and then your form should be endorsed by at least 10 members of the Ghana Football Association.
Hello, Redwan. Are you in trouble?
Yes. Yes. Can you get me?
I can hear you. I thought you were in trouble for a second.
No.
Oh, and there we go. We lost him, Redwan Ibrahim Asante. But I'm sure he told us, largely what is essential. I was just asking about the young lady who wanted to kick Kwesi Nyantakyi out. Apparently, she didn't even return her forms. So here we are with this, Congress also coming in. But I wanted to ask about the reason we don't have a game in terms of the local league. We don't have a game tomorrow, Wednesday. Otherwise, we should have a midweek game, and then on Sunday we could play the final round of matches. Yeah. But it's been postponed.
Yeah, I heard the spokesperson of the FA speak one of the networks that it was agreed and everything is on paper that they need to finish the FA Cup and I think the Elite Cup before they continue. They finish the league itself. So I'm sure after today's Congress, the FA Cup final will be played on 30th. And I think the league resumes on the 6th. For me, I think that's possibly, to me, I think they should have played, as you said, tomorrow and then on Sunday, so they declare the league off from there. But it has also given some of the class briefing to prepare very well against each other.
I have a wicked mind, and I feel people will be going, back door to make some arrangements. Don't play hard, let me win, because the stakes are high.
But the standards of the teams, it will be difficult. For instance, Olympics is playing Heart of Lions at Accra Sports Stadium when the league resumes. Olympics is having 37 points. Lions is having 37 points.
Please hold the 37-37. Let me wrap up with Redwan, who's joined us back on the line. Redwan, you are just concluding on the young lady.
Yes, she couldn't return her form. Like I was talking about the Ghana Football Association, electoral process where you have to be nominated by a club and then at least 10 others would endorse your nomination form, and it will be, verified, vetted by the electoral, commission. That's what happened in 2011 when 3 candidates were disqualified from the race. Remember, the famous one being, a bit of controversy, with Heart of Lions, where the president, had said he had endorsed the form of Armstrong Mortagbe, and the chief executive then said he had endorsed the form of Kwesi Nyantakyi. And also Vincent Odote, who's now into politics, also had to be disqualified because there was uncertainty over those who had nominated his form. He used initials of certain individuals out of the signatories, and he was questioned when he phoned the man who endorsed his form. They realized that most of them were not even in the country. They had gone to watch the Ghana-England game in 2011 somewhere in March, and they were not in town. So there were questions and had to be disqualified or eliminated from the race, as it were. And Mr. Al-Hassan also has to be disqualified. So it's sort of a kingly ride for Kwesi Nyantakyi. So the lady just couldn't get the requisite endorsement and nomination, and so she had to just pull off.
So Redwan, nobody is capable of being GFA president apart from Kwesi Nyantakyi. Is that what I get?
No, maybe that's what you have to ask the football fraternity. Is that what they want? Is that what they want?
Because it's interesting. A lot of people say bad things about his presidency, and then when it's time for people to contest and for us to get alternatives, nobody is qualified.
Maybe the true picture is not being painted, or we don't have a lot of men with muscles, as it were, to contest Kwesi, or he's doing a good job. So it's just a bit or all of put together.
Sure.
Just a bit of all put together. So that's how it is. It's pervasive. I think that's the universal practice when it comes to football.
All right, Redwan, we'll leave it here. We'll leave it here. Thank you very much. But definitely we'll come back to you later on in the day. That's my colleague Redwan Ibrahim Asante in Tamale monitoring that Congress there. We know that Kwesi Nyantakyi is standing again, ladies and gentlemen, on a post. Okay, back to Olympics. You were on the 37-37. The reason you believe strongly that we're likely not to have Kululu, even though it's been
it's likely it's going to happen.
Okay,
you talk of teams like Chelsea is out of relegation, Interlight is out of relegation, Kotoko, Ediana, and Ice Gold. Bechem will be playing Interlight. Interlight is out of relegation, so that is where I think the authorities need to watch that game very closely.
What can they do? If you've decided to play soft for your opponents, not to be relegated, to come out of where they are.
If it comes out clear that you play it soft, you need to be punished. You need to be punished. And this instance, I'll say that our referees need to step up their game. Our referees are also going to be part of this whole thing. You talk of BA United playing Liberty Professionals. Liberty has 40. BA has nothing to lose. Liberty is going there. So these are some matches that I think that the FA, the PLB, and those who are in football to have to look into it very well, because there's just 2 matches to go, and a slip of any mistake from any referee can send a club who has struggled so hard to get out of relegation goes to relegation.
Finally, give me the 3 teams that you think are likely to be relegated here.
Wow. BA United is gone.
Okay.
And I think that right down from Wafa to Accra Suffolk, any of these clubs.
No, don't give me that. What would it mean for Hartlepool to be relegated? Some people are pushing for that so that they can go and prepare themselves and come back.
Well, they can still stay in the league and prepare for next season. I think that they being the oldest club in the country, they've done so well, and they think that Accra Suffolk, Manchester Asante Kotoko are the crowd pullers, and when they are in the league, that is where fans will enjoy going to watch maybe the smaller clubs playing Kotoko, or, that kind of rivalry between us and Kotoko.
Okay.
So if Accra Suffolk is to be relegated, how is it going to be? How are you going to have that rivalry between Kotoko? Is it going to be Kotoko Olympics? I think that we should be fair. If a team does not perform and it have found itself in the relegation zone, why not? Because it happens everywhere. Juventus has been relegated before. Clubs has been relegated before.
Okay.
So I think that if Accra Suffolk is relegated today, those who did the recruitment for Accra Suffolk have themselves to be blamed.
Finally, who is winning? Don't say Ashgold.
Ashgold has already won the league. Per my,
I said don't say Ashgold, and then you say
no,
Ashgold.
you said who is winning.
Won. Yes.
And I'm saying that.
And I said don't say Ashgold.
The Obuasi Lat has won the league, and I think that I have to congratulate them because they are playing Wafa at home. They've not lost a game in the league at home, and
Wafa is not a cheap club either.
I know what I'm talking about. I spoke to the coach of Ashgold and the CEO of Ashgold. They are working so hard, and they think that they went to Sogakope in the first round and they were able to win. No, they had a draw with Wafa at
so you think it's Ashgold all the way?
Ashgold all the way.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
Ediana was the threat, but they lost to Heart of Lions, and I think that if Ash Gold to go all out and then beat Wafa. The link is not there. So I have to congratulate Ash Gold, the technical team.
You even wait. Okay,
No,
we'll see what happens.
The confidence that they took to Brekum, the coach told me that, look, he's going to fight for a point. And I watched that game on Super Sports. Okay. And he did exactly that. And for me,
if it doesn't happen, I'm going to cut this conversation.
You know, Ghanaians have been saying that, look, Bashir Ford is a coach who doesn't do well in the second round. You understand? And he's the same coach who said that it's difficult to see a back tie overtaking the front tie. And this time, second week of the league, he came on top and no club has been able to overtake him. So I think that I have to congratulate him in advance.
We'll see what happens.
But
thank you so much. Thank you so much for your analysis. Thanks for being here. That's Coach Ebenezer Sefa. We also spoke to Redwan Ibrahim Asante. I'll make way for talk now. Our guest this morning joining Roland Walker here on the show is the Honorable Obi Amwa, also Kobe Echampong on AM Talk. And then we'll also bring you some entertainment, courtesy Airtel. So stay with us.